What is good, Internet? It is the No Justice Podcast, home to the pettiest nerds on the Internet. We are your hosts, David and Zach. Say what's up, Zach.
What's up, Zach?
That was the corniest shit ever in the world, but I'm keeping that in just because you did that stupid shit. Uh,
I like you take it everywhere, so I decided, hey, I
you,
gotta throw my hat in the ring.
yeah, you decided to do the whitest joke ever, but it's okay. It's part of your culture. I respect it. I respect y'all differentness. Differentness. My English teacher would whip my ass for that fucking word.
At least you
uh,
didn't pull out some whack shit. Been like, I appreciate your differentialism.
oh no, I already get accused enough for being a fucking Oreo. I'm not about to. Oh shit. But so we back at it again. I just recently came back from a trip during my little week long, actually 10-day vacation. So how was your week
Couple of
though?
days, y'all. I thought you were finna jump right into the rant. I was like,
Oh
hey,
no
I'm
no no
saving this for y'all.
no no. no.
It's been good for the most part. A lot of my friends from out of town are coming back into town because college shit, and now we're all at least 21, so
The
getting a
legal
little
shit
bit
can
drunk.
like
um,
I like how you say that as if you not American and you weren't drinking beforehand.
Oh, but now we can all go out to bars and pay even more money just to get the same amount of drunk, if not less.
Right. Yeah, that y'all different. I'm damn sure not in that
It was a
lane.
rude that was a rude awakening for me. I'm like, damn, we all had 5 beers and I paid $30. What the fuck's up with that?
Yep. That's
I'm like,
why
I could have got the 24 pack at Walmart for less.
that's why you need to get you a military friend so you can get that discount and you can bump that price back down to what it used to be.
Hey, I'm gonna be fake as fuck looking for some military friends. No, I'm just kidding. I have plenty of friends in the military. I just didn't know that was a thing.
Oh man. Don't get Jeremy though. His ass, as skinny as he is, he probably can't even take a drink. Yeah, I said it, motherfucker, if you listen to this.
Scary.
But yeah. Anything else?
That's about it.
Okay. As for my week, the vacation is going good. Coming back from my trip, I immediately got fucking sick. But as for the trip that I went on, okay, so I went to Anime Central, which is in the Chicago area, and it's held every year. And I tend to go every year. And this year I decided to cosplay as Red Hood. I may or may not put that on screen, but whatever, fuck it. Uh, and you might be asking, why the hell would you dress up as a comic book character at an anime convention? Because I fucking can. That's why. Shit. Anyway, uh, fuck it. I might as well get into it because thinking about it's already pissed me off. So at the very beginning of this trip, and I'm counting like months back, like this is 3-4 months in advance. That because me and my normal group of people who go to these conventions, we tend to book the room 3-4 months in advance in case shit pops off. And
hmm
I'm typically the one in charge of that because I have this app that finds rooms on the cheap, especially considering that most con hotels are expensive as fuck. Granted, that
Is this our first sponsorship?
fuck no. I wish I really do. Like
It's gonna be
I'm
like Trivago.
like, hey, the moment they decide to sponsor us, I will name names. Uh, but anyway, so that's typically how it goes. But this time around, there was a bit of fuckery. So, I get typically when I book something in advance, but there's something wrong with the on the hotel side of things. I tend to get an email back because my email is registered on the app that I booked the hotels through. Like, hey, such and such happening. We'll have to either cancel your reservation or have to change your room for whatever god reason. But I hear nothing back from the hotel. So as far as I'm concerned, nothing's wrong. So the day of the booking that I have to actually be there to pay for the room, I typically pay cash. Like I for whatever reason I don't like paying with card when it comes to hotel rooms. I just feel like it's easier for me. Whatever. Anyway, I drive down to the Chicago area for the should I name the hotel? No, fuck it. I'm naming this hotel because I'm about to blow up their spot. The Candlewood Suites. Fucking at O'Hare, these motherfuckers. I get to this goddamn hotel, and I'm like, hey, you guys, how you guys doing? I'm here to pay for my room that I booked for the weekend. They're like, what's your name? Give them my information, all that shit, boo boom. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, we canceled your room. What?
Bitch.
Eh,
That's what I would have said. I would have, bitch.
no, there was a pregnant ass pause. I'm just like, what? She's like, oh yeah, we canceled your room. Why? Oh, because we tend to give because it's hotel policy to give a courtesy call before the actual booking of the room. And I'm like, and she says something like, oh, but we didn't have a phone number to call because my app doesn't require me to put my phone number down. And if it was a requirement for the booking, my app typically tells me that, and then I would put my information in for that shit. But you have my email. You can literally send me a fucking email. And she's like, "Oh, well, we our policy is to call." I'm like, "Bitch, I don't give a fuck what your policy is. If your policy is essentially to contact me for whatever fucking reason, you contact me in whatever method that you have available, which is my email." Anyway, so I'm standing here. I'm like, so can I get any other? Can I do a last minute booking? Get a room, any other room that you might have available since you canceled? No, I should mention that on the day that I booked this shit, I got the fucking like 5-star suite of this shit. It's like its own little apartment complex. I got a fucking 2-bedroom fucking place that's separated by a goddamn wall. Has its own little mini kitchen that we can cook our shit. Everything like it's decked out and it's for a decent price too. I'm like, oh, we about to ball out this weekend with this fucking con. And so you can already understand that I'm starting to get heated because they canceled the best goddamn place they got in their fucking hotel. So I'm like, okay.
You know, someone probably just slid them like a 20 piece, and they're like, "All right, bet we'll just book it for you instead."
So I'm like, okay. Do you have? No, first off, I'm like, are you sure I can't just get that room back? Because I literally am holding the wad of cash that the room is priced for in my hand. I'm like, ma'am, I have the fucking money in my hand. It's not a fucking matter of I can't pay. I can pay this shit right now. She's like, I'm sorry, we canceled your room and it's already been booked. Bitch, how the fuck was it already booked? You literally canceled it as I got here. So what the fuck? So I'm just like, okay, fine. Where do you have another room I can book? They're like, oh, I'm sorry, we're booked for the fucking no, she says we're booked for the weekend. Bitch, you're clearly not booked because you literally just fucking canceled my room the day of I'm driving my ass up here on a 2.5 hour drive to Chicago of all fucking places. Granted, I got family in Chicago, but
Damn,
fuck
you drove
Chicago.
2.5 hours. I was thinking you drove like 30, 40 minutes, and you was just
Fuck.
like,
No, if it was 30, 40 minutes, I would have stayed my ass at home and then drove to the fucking con. But this is 2.5 hours, and I got people, and I got homies from fucking Iowa who are booked, who are gonna be staying in this room with me, who are driving their own like 2.5, 3 hour drive. So we're all fucking dog ass. We're all gonna be fucking dog ass tired from our damn trips. So, but I typically arrive to the hotel first because one, I'm the one who booked it, and two, I pay for the shit. So it's just like, so I'm just like, okay, you mean to tell me you not only cancel my room, but now you saying you don't have a room available, even though you literally canceled the book. You literally canceled my room the day of me driving up here. The audacity of this bitch. I was okay. I'm
took you
not.
this long to ask for a manager? I would have said, bitch.
No,
And
no,
I
no, no.
looked her dead in her eyes, and before she got a word out of her mouth, I would have said, "Let me speak to your manager."
See, okay, Karen. See that's the thing I don't do anymore. Like especially in areas that I have had prior bad experiences with, like Chicago, some cities down south. I I'm not typically the angry black guy. I That's
It
just
was a
not
white
me.
girl.
No, it was a black woman, but it's a fucking hotel ran by white people. I tend not to pop off because I'm like, all it take because there was literally somebody getting fucking pulled over by fucking bullet bullet vest fucking Chicago PD right outside the goddamn hotel. So I'm like, if I pop off here, it's not gonna take them nothing but a
Yeah,
word to say we got an irate black man here and my day is done.
right.
So I'm just like, okay, is there any other hotel around here that's relatively near? And she, of course, gives me this fucking bullshit. Long story short, motherfucking hotels, the majority of the hotels that are close to the location that I originally booked at are almost all filled to the brim. I ended up finding a Quality Inn, but its room service was shittier in comparison to what I originally was about to pay for, and it was more expensive. So I was just like, okay. I, and so I had to contact my friends and tell them the situation because I don't want them get misinformed and shit. And yo, shout outs to my friend Sarah. This girl went full white girl Karen, and she's like, "Well, fuck it, I'll call their asses." So she calls the fucking management. Granted, nothing really positive happened outside of, oh, we'll put 500 points on your fucking reward system from the app that I use. I'm like, yay, I guess. Like, granted, I didn't spend any money, but at the same time, I should have just got my fucking room like I originally. But whatever. These these fucking bitches. The Candlewood Suite, yo, nobody go to this goddamn hotel. This ain't a sponsorship. This is a straight up fucking smear campaign. Fuck that goddamn hotel. And they're the only. Okay, I don't know about you, but almost any other fucking hotel that I go to, cash is an option to pay. This bitch had the nerve to turn her nose up at me when I pulled out my wad of cash. It's like, ma'am, I have the money to pay right here. Like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. We only take card. Bitch, I don't give a. What fucking hotel doesn't accept cash as a suitable form of payment? Yeah, there are some hotels that'll have you charge a little extra to pay cash, but at the end of the day, you can still pay fucking cash. It doesn't matter if you have a card or not. It's the same fucking it's the same transaction just through a different means.
It's less work for the lazy people that work there. No offense to people who work there that may be lazy, may not be lazy.
No, fuck
Well,
that.
not this
All
one,
the offense,
not this
all,
one because fuck that one. But you never know.
but yeah, it's just, oh, I fucking hate these. I hate that fucking hotel. Yeah, you would. Let, let me calm the fuck down. But anyway, so that was the bad start of my fucking weekend. Uh, After that, shit got better. Typically when we go to the cons, sorry. Typically when we go to the cons, it's essentially us cosplaying and shit, walking through the convention hall, checking out the vendors and shit, and then going back to our rooms, chilling out a bit. Then we go to the parties after the after hour parties. And this year's party was okay. The rave itself, trash. Like typically, I'm not typically the rave going type because the music that they play isn't my vibe. But every so often they'll play something I can bounce to. But the fucking rave this year specifically, trash. The music I could not stand that shit. I was trying my best to be with my friends because they love that type of music, but I'm just like I can't vibe. This fucking techno shit has no rhythm, so I can't even really dance to it like I want to. Like the fucking beat drops are at random ass moments, and they cut the good parts of any song. I think. Have you listened to rave techno
Oh, I
music?
feel you. I feel you 100%. Raves aren't really my scene. Just I'm not into music like that.
Like they like I can't stand rave music because of the fact that they'll take perfectly good songs that you can dance to, that you can just like bob your head to the beat to. They'll chop it up some kind of weird fucking way and then just fuck it up. It's just like even even anime openings that I fucking bop to that they play. I'm just like, y'all really gonna ruin this good ass song? Man, I was listening to whatever. But so we leave the rave for a bit to just kind of take a break from it because it was trash, honestly. And then we
Mm.
just go outside. and we see this small little group of people in their own little cosplays and rave gear, fucking dancing to this dude's boombox. And we're like, okay, what the fuck's going on over here? For one, they were playing the goddamn Macarena music at first, so we were just like, okay, that's a little weird, but fuck it, that's better than what the fucking rave music was.
I was about to say, still an upgrade.
Yeah. So we just kind of chilling over there. Like you see my ass just posted up on the wall outside, just listening to the music. And then all of a sudden they start playing some fucking Puerto Rico merengue music, and I'm just like, okay, hold up, I could jig a little bit, like I'm popping my booty a little bit to this shit. And I'm just like, and then they just start walking out in like a damn conga line, and long story short, you have this big ass group of people walking all across I want to say not downtown Chicago, but I can't remember what fucking area we're in, but you're seeing us walking all across fucking Chicago's area, fucking just dancing at random fucking spots, playing some bomb ass music, and yo, the line ended up stopping at this random ass hotel, and we shut the whole entire goddamn lobby down. Like the music was playing, and all the fucking cosplayers who got tired of the goddamn raves trash ass music, they came over to us. Everybody's fucking having a good ass time. I'll probably even post that on the channel just so y'all can see what hell I'm talking about. Shit was fucking live. It was lit, and yo, there was this white girl over there. I was like, if I wasn't sure your man was with you right now at this little shindig that's happening, I'd probably impregnate your ass just the way you've been shaking your shit. Like,
Damn. Preach. I know the feeling.
like,
You've
bruh.
said something relatable now. Sometimes you just look at a woman and you're just like, good. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's not even. It's. I don't know if it was just the fact that I was in a specifically good mood, or I can't even say that she was like the finest thing ever, but maybe it was just the way that she was fucking moving them hips. I'm like, girl, you about to have a fucking vanilla chocolate swirl baby in a minute if you keep fucking around. Just mm. like
It'd be like that.
she was about to have a Logic Junior in her fucking belly, just like. But that was so fucking stupid. But yeah, that was pretty much my vacay. I'll probably end up posting pictures from that shit on the channel just so y'all just so y'all can get an idea of what we're talking about. Hey, shout outs to ASIN though, cause almost every year they're fun. They got decent vendors and shit. Uh, I'm probably gonna I'm gonna try to see if we can get fucking what you call it booth for us at one point if we get a little bit bigger, but that's in the future and shit. Uh, let's go ahead and go into the actual topics of this shit. Um, you want to talk about fucking this rumor going around that motherfucking Twilight boy is rumored to be a top contender for the next Batman?
Is that rumored or confirmed? Because pretty much everyone's reporting that it's confirmed, I think.
I haven't seen a hard confirmation. Like, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I think the most I've seen is people saying like he's like top 10 contenders or some shit. So as of right now, I'm just gonna say unconfirmed. If that is confirmed, I'll I'll put it down there and post editing. Also, I'm sick, so forgive my nasally voice, y'all. That's what y'all are just gonna have to deal with now. But yeah, so Twilight Sprinkle. How you feel about him being fucking the new Bruce Wayne slash Batman?
Honestly, I don't have any problem with it. There's a lot of people hating on it because a lot of people don't like Twilight.
Not gonna lie, that has influenced my opinion, but even if like you know me, I can take my bias out of shit for the most part. And even if I take that away, there's just nothing about him that screams Bruce Wayne or Batman to me. Like it's just there's nothing. He just looks boring. I
I'll
can't.
agree. Here's my thing, but there's nothing that tells me he can't play Bruce Wayne.
Can you expand on that? Because I'm not sure I know
Okay,
what you mean.
like how you said Bruce Wayne, like that's not what you think for Bruce Wayne. There's also nothing I look at and say I don't think he could play Bruce Wayne. Like first off, like first off, he's got dark hair,
Mm,
right? He's got dark hair. He's got a strong chin. I think he's about 6'1" or 6'2", and he's skinny. So instead of him being like fat or us worrying about him getting fat, he can either just get a body double or a muscle suit, or he could just put on the weight, which I do think he needs to put on some weight.
mm.
He's like 160. So as it stands, he's definitely way too scrawny. But I mean, that movie's not coming out anytime soon. So if he were really to be Batman, he'd have plenty of time.
Right. It's okay now that you
And
put
he's
it.
good at being emo. Like, I don't know why people are acting like Batman. And I'm going to offend some people with this when I say Batman's not deep. It's not that the character itself's not deep. I just mean he's not like multi-dimensional as far as what he shows with his emotions.
Hmm.
Robert Pattinson, if Robert Pattinson was playing Clark Kent or something like that, I'd be like, wait, hold up. I'd be like, I don't know. He's never done anything close to that. But,
It
he's done plenty of this more edgy, sort of work.
and that would be fine if we're just talking about Batman. Like, yeah, the distinction for me is sure Batman is not a multidimensional character in the context of him in the costume. You you know what you get when you get Batman. It's the Bruce Wayne side that has me more concerned because you know that on any superhero movie is going to be the majority of them out of the costume. So, and it's a problem that I think has always been there for any live action Batman movie. Nobody can really play a good Bruce Wayne. Batman, fine, that's whatever. You can pretty much
I mean, you just got to
wing it.
kick ass. You got to be Mary Sue. I mean.
Yeah, but the Bruce Wayne side, like Bruce Wayne, he's a charismatic, big dick energy playboy. Nobody night the closest I can really say to came to that was fucking George Clooney when he was
It's out
Batnips.
in public Bruce Wayne, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
out
think
in
that's what it depends. I think that's what it depends on. From what I hear, it's supposed to be a more on the detective side. So I don't know, like, is he going to be out in public just doing whatever? Like, is he going to be in public a lot where a lot of people will notice him and have to be that Bruce Wayne,
hmm
or is he going to be like happening in like the Himalayas and for some reason he's out there just still being Batman Bruce Wayne? Like, I think that's what it depends on.
I mean, if they want to go the more detective route of things, you ever play that Batman Telltale game?
Yes, I like it a lot.
Yeah, that is probably the best example outside of the animated series in the animated movies of how you can do both Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like if they wanted to go that route with it, I'd be like, okay, cool. Y'all then you know what you're doing. But I DC, I can't trust them. Warner Brothers, I can't trust them.
Yeah, I agree, and that's another thing. I guess I wasn't thinking of it like that. I'm thinking of it in the terms of if there was a. I'm thinking of it how I usually think of Batman when it comes to crossovers, right? Like,
Hmm.
and doesn't always just have screen time. He really only has screen time when he needs to be on screen.
Yeah, so he's the MacGuffin at any point in time in a crossover.
Like usually, like him and Superman, right? Like that's usually what they
Hmm.
do in crossovers. They're not in it a lot, but when they say it, they're always saying something important or doing something important. Woman, Cyborg, Green Lantern. Those are the ones you always see that are talking shit like that, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, he'd be great Batman like that. But yeah, I mean, when you say it, inside, I am. Now that I think about it,
Like it's just when it comes to and it's something that that I think I started to more cemently believe in regards to the MCU things. There is not too many superhero movies that handle the out of costume side of a superhero. MCU's gotten better with that, where uh, it used to be. Correct me if I'm wrong. The ratio used to be 80% out of costume, 20% in costume, and now, especially towards the end game, it was closer to 50-50 almost. But
Yeah, it's about like that. I mean, there's a lot of guys that don't, have costumes. Like Captain America. That's the whole reason he had the helmet thing taken off.
right, like
So they didn't
he's
have that
Captain
problem.
America.
So
We
he's
know it.
always in costume pretty much because
Yeah,
he is Captain America.
yeah. Same with
Or,
Iron
and I
Man.
think that's kind of, yeah, as I was gonna say, I think it's kind of everyone knows he's Iron Man. So everything he does is Iron Man doing something.
Yeah, and that's the problem that you have with Batman, where not
Mhm.
everybody knows. Like, oh, in your
But
average,
not a lot of people don't care about, and this really would depend on the pacing of the movie. A lot of people don't care about that side of Bruce Wayne at all. That's why I said it just kind of depends on how they do it. But I get what you're saying. That's one of the reasons I hate Man of Steel. Everything about the Clark Kent aspect,
hmm
and it's like, okay, but Superman is not Kal-El of Krypton to me. He is Clark Kent from Smallville, Kansas.
yeah, it's like,
Kill all that. It's like, bro, the fuck?
and maybe this is just my personal taste coming into my opinion of this whole entire thing. I want, like, another example I go to is the fucking Spider-Man PS4.
Mm.
That was a good ass blend of the superhero and the regular guy. Like, that was Peter Parker and that was fucking Spider-Man all in one. That was good. It's just I have not seen that in a movie unless the character is that person in and out of costume.
That's why you get I mean, that's why I know we both agree on this. That's why animated works are better. They're
Yep.
not gonna see your face anyways. So, you can just put your all into it.
Yeah. So I guess it
We
would.
both agree, yeah, I mean animated because you said it, Batman the Animated Series, that's probably you're gonna get your best renditions of people are gonna disagree with this. I know you said this in A&E. You're gonna get your best rendition of Joker,
Mhm.
Bruce Wayne, all those people.
Yeah. Shout outs to All Nerd Everything, our Facebook group. Y'all should check that out. But yeah, it's just because the movie side of superheroes or the live action movies anyway, they like to focus more on the realistic aspect, and it's like they try to have their cake and eat it too. They want to be quote unquote realistic, therefore show more of the person under the mask, but they don't want to actually commit to showing that person. They just want to say it's I don't know if I'm making sense. It's like they are adhering to the actor's demand of showing their face because they need facial recognition for their fucking brand and whatever. But fuck, I lost my entire train of thought with that. But do you kind of understand what I'm saying here?
Why am I gonna pay for Ben Affleck if it's like a body double just kicking ass the whole time?
Right, and I think there was even something on the internet in regards to Batfleck. Fucking his fight scene was literally a carbon copy of Batman Arkham City or
Yeah,
Asylum.
it was definitely a Arkham. Like in terms of fighting style and moves and everything, it was definitely inspired by the Arkham games, 100%.
Like they even did a side by side between that one fight scene where his opening fight scene and a fight scene in fucking Batman. It was like, yeah, this motherfucker just did Arkham shit. It was just so it's like, yeah, y'all got the superhero side of it, but you don't
As
have the
far as badassery, that's everyone's favorite. Like badass Batman is the
yeah
one from the Arkham games.
yeah yeah. But it's just I don't know. If I feel like if they're gonna try to go for the quote unquote realistic superhero story, they need to nail Bruce Wayne. If they're
Well,
trying,
I think DC is also actually going away from the realistic superhero stories. Like that was what everyone's biggest problem was. Was they're like, hey, we like these because they're just like we know they're in a different universe, right?
yeah, and there's a
There's a
level of
reason
silliness
why
to it.
they don't. I mean, they have it now, but it used to be they didn't have like a New York and all all those other cities. They had their own cities. They made their own names and everything.
Right.
Supposed
Like
to be unrealistic and different. That was people. That was like I was saying about Superman. Okay, it worked for Batman because in the Dark Knight trilogy because it was
mhm,
just Batman and
mhm.
Batman's a more grounded character. But I know, especially when it comes to the more superpowered characters, they're trying to go away from where everyone wants to take it so seriously. That was one of the things about Aquaman is people are like, "Oh, this movie's corny." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, I mean, just don't take it that serious. It's supposed to be corny. It's a superhero movie.
Yeah, like okay. Yeah, and that's something I kind of wish people would kind of take to heart more. Like superheroes, as cool and as awesome as and as badass as some of these stories and characters are, there's a level of silliness that they all have. Like
Yeah.
fucking like fucking Flash. His fucking city of operation is what was it? Alphabet City or some shit. Like what? Who actually would name their shit that? Like Star
No,
City.
it's like Central City now or some shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. But you get what I mean. Like
Yeah, I mean,
there's
Metropolis is really on the news. Gotham, and it's a really gothic city. That's really on the nose.
yeah. It's just like
Yeah,
there's
Emerald
fuck
City, the Green Arrow. He Emerald City. Although I think they finally changed that to like Seattle now.
yeah. Oh great, fucking Green Arrow's a fucking hipster. Great, yay.
I mean, come on, have you seen his facial hair?
Yeah, he does got that fuckboy mustache, don't he?
Like
Shit.
textbook hipster shit going on right there.
See, another reason why I don't like Archer characters. They all look like fuckboys. Even though fucking what's his name, Legolas from Lord of the Rings, his ass looks like a fuckboy. He just got the slick back, glorious hair. I can't even knock him on that. He's just a fuckboy though.
That's why people liked Hawkeye. He wasn't a fuck boy.
Oh bullshit. He's fuck him too. I
All
do
right,
not
the goat.
I do not like I do not like Archer characters. I just don't. Especially the motherfuckers who are trying to be fake Batman. Like like Hawkeye, okay, in the comic books at least. If you compared
Okay, what
Hawkeye,
about Cosmo Man?
who?
I was saying the girl from Inuyasha.
Oh, Kagome?
Yeah,
She was a damsel in distress more than she was a fucking archer.
I just want to know what you're gonna say about that.
I mean, if she was just like a strictly an archer character, yeah, she'd be trash too. Cause it's like, bitch, you got all these magic fucking spiritual powers, and you decide to use a goddamn arrow. Bitch, you better pick up a sword.
Also, my apologies to people listening who might have heard me crunching on ice or drinking water. I have a very dry mouth.
Yeah, he's been spending too much time sucking dick. uh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put your business out there, bro.
I
It's
was
okay.
probably supposed to say like, no, that's not happening, but I didn't even care to, you know,
Yeah, well,
it's not happening. But
nah, you a little too late on the denial,
I
but
just
it's
figured
okay.
nobody would take you serious. But then I was like, wait, maybe I really should put that disclaimer out there because some people might be like, oh, he didn't say shit about it.
Well, you didn't immediately deny it, so it's you're kind of fucked either way, bro. I might even edit this shit later. Just edit out that part where you denied it. Shit, I might actually do that. Yeah, he's been spending too much time sucking dick. uh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put your business out there, bro.
I
It's
was
okay.
probably supposed to say like, no, that's not happening, but I have a very dry mouth.
See, this is what happens when I have the power to edit the shit. Oh man. But so any other thoughts on that shit though before we move on?
That honestly, I want Scott Adkins to be my Batman.
Who the fuck is that? Because I keep hearing you mention his names. You know I'm bad with actor names, bro.
He's like a B-rated actor. He just does a lot of martial arts. He looks a lot like Batman.
Oh, so you just mainly want him for the physical aspect of it.
He's a really good martial artist.
Yeah, so is Michael Jai White, but you don't see me asking him to be fucking Blade or Black Panther. Though there are some legit ass people who actually would want him as Black Panther.
Whoa! I would very much like to at least do the combat for like the Black Panther suit. You know, the CGI and shit.
Mm.
Because I'm not gonna lie, Black Panther's CGI, like his fights, were kind of whack in Black Panther.
Let's talk about that because that was something I didn't even think about before until somebody brought it up, and then I heard it later on in another podcast. Yo, Black Panther really doesn't have hands like that, or at least he doesn't have them like he did compared to Civil War. It was like,
Yeah, in Civil War, he was beating everyone's ass. He didn't even have the. He was beating Bucky, and he didn't even have the damn suit on.
yeah, it was just like, and I don't know if they were. I don't know if that's because they didn't want him to look better than Captain America, who's the only other quote unquote super soldier hand to hand guy. That
Yeah.
actually might have been it. Like they didn't want the new guy to outshine the second face of MCU. But yeah, it's just like Killmonger gave him the business in Black Panther, and that was as much as I like Black Panther, that whole entire loophole of I didn't concede was like, bruh, you didn't need to concede. You got your ass whipped.
Or the fact that he survived. I mean, no one's talking about that. I mean, I know he's the hero, so he's supposed to survive. But imagine if this was a Batman movie. People would be like, how did he survive that long ass fall? Bro,
No,
because he's the main character.
that
Shut the fuck
that
up.
that's the worst example. People would just be like, "Oh, he's Batman. Of course he was gonna survive that." Like, I still question the fact how Bane didn't just straight up snap him in half, literally, like rip muscle and tissue when he broke his back in the fucking comics. I'm just like, bruh, all he did was break a spine, and then somehow Batman got better. Fuck off.
I was in Injustice. Superman just broke Batman's spine,
Yeah,
and
that
then
should have been
Arthur
it.
beat his ass. I meant to
That
say,
should
what's his face?
Alfred
Alfred.
exposed.
No, Aquaman was on my mind. We were talking about Black Panther's fights, and they had like the fight coordinator for Black Panther and Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it felt like they were trying to be a little too flashy at times.
Yeah, it. God, T'Challa needs to get his hands up. He needs to get his hand game up for real, for real. Because otherwise, I'm gonna be looking like, hey, bruh, you look good in that suit and all, but get Okoye real quick because she's the one who could really give the business out here. But anyway, speaking of movies though, uh, how do you feel about directors and writers uh doing these fucking post movie, post series interviews and explaining shit that either wasn't in the series or movie itself or wasn't clear?
Bro, I hate that shit so much. I mean, it is so annoying, bro. I was finna take a swig of water, but you done unleashed the rage monster, so I'm not even finna drink that water no more. I'm just spitting straight fire right now, okay?
Speak, bro.
Just that shit. I get it if it's like, because that shit's just dumb. It's been pissing me off. And it's not just the in-game directors. Okay, well, let's just go back to it, because really it is the Russo brothers
Yeah.
perpetrators of it. At least for I know that's probably how this is coming up. When most people think about it, right now they're probably thinking about the Russo brothers. I
Yeah,
know
they're the one of the more
J.K.
recent ones.
J.K. Rowling's been doing it a whole bunch, and it's been pretty embarrassing because she's been saying stupid things that don't have consistencies or don't
Like,
make sense.
hold up. Let's go through the list at least as far as I remember. There is Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
There's fucking George Lucas, the creator of the Star Wars series.
yeah.
There's fucking J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, Russo Brothers, MCU, and I guess the most recent one would be D&D, the guys who
Game of Thrones
behind Game
guys.
of Thrones. So yeah, there's a lot of examples of this going on right now. And
And no
honestly,
one believes y'all's bullshit. And the people who do, y'all look kind of cringy.
yeah, like go go ahead and speak your piece because I got some words for my damn self.
Okay, so first off, the first thing that kind of bothered me when the Russo brothers did it was them trying to please Hulk fans. Because it was like, well, why'd Hulk get his fade run? Why'd Hulk get his fade run by Thanos? Bro, because Thanos is the mad titan.
Like,
This is his deal. Like killing people, running fades, embarrassing people, and making you rethink life is literally his specialty. He did it to Riri Williams. Okay. I know you read the Riri solo series, or you
mm,
started reading the new one,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
She's a completely different person. That Thanos literally made her rethink her life. I shit you not.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is the in-universe explanation for her being different.
Like,
Was
oh,
scared because Thanos beat his shit. All right.
and side note on that real quick. What kind of fucking arrogant pieces of shit do y'all think? Yeah, no, that's exactly what I mean. What kind of arrogant pieces of shit are y'all to think that Thanos, and I'm just talking strictly movies here, who's probably been going around the known universe for probably over a decade, yeah, at least a couple of decades, killing motherfuckers left and right, and you think, oh, just because he hasn't come to Earth yet and fought the Hulk, he's all of a sudden gonna start losing? Like, get the fuck out of here with that. Like, it took
Yeah,
an
and like I already knew, bro. He took out the whole Asgardian ship. Did y'all really think Hulk was gonna make that big of a difference?
Like, oh
That
god.
was his introduction. Was the whole Asgardian ship with all those Asgardians on it was being destroyed, and Thanos like he runs this squad, man. And how could you think like what were they saying that Hulk wasn't really scared? Did y'all watch that fight? Hulk put his hands on him, and Thanos was playing around. Thanos grabbed him and overpowered him on purpose, looking him dead in the eyes,
Yeah,
like trying to strike the fear of God in him. What is wrong with y'all?
like, and then the way he two-pieced Hulk, from the visual aspect, it didn't even look like he hit him that hard. But that's probably he just didn't hit him that hard for fucking Thanos. Thanos's light tap is probably a fucking brick house to compare
Yeah,
it.
he was just bopping his ass. He was like bop 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 bop.
Like he's like, bro, this is light work. Let's go, pop pop. So yeah, it's just the Hulk isn't that good. People, get over it.
And then when it comes to the whole time travel thing, they have tried to justify this time travel thing any way possible. And look, it's as simple as this. Whether you want to hate on it or not, think about it what you will, but you can't argue it's an inconsistency.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the past does not affect the future, and they rely on that on so many moments. And for convenient Captain America moment, it works, right? And it may also be an effect. Sorry, I just got a text from a scholarship person. Okay, sorry. And damn, what was I even talking about? Them people threw me off so much.
Captain America's convenient time
Oh yeah,
travel
yeah, yeah.
working.
And then that may also go into effect for Loki because he's supposed to have a TV show coming up, right?
Yeah,
If that's the case, that's just a big inconsistency. And they keep trying their hardest to explain it. Or at other times, they'll just speak on it and they're like, yeah, well, the guy that Peggy Carter originally got married to was Steve Rogers. Carter and all her descendants were also Steve Rogers' kids, apparently.
which would mean that
So
Steve
Steve was
Rogers.
making out with his like great granddaughter and all this other shit. Okay,
Yeah, it's just like y'all trying to have a Futurama situation. That's what it really is.
like they're just doing too much. I don't like all that. Starting to look like fools at this point because no one needed to know that tidbit about Captain America.
Like, it, I would have been cool with the time travel situation if they just kept it simple as if they stuck to what they originally said about it. The past does not affect the future because the moment you alter something in the past, it diverges into a different timeline. That's cool. That works fine because that does still give you possibilities for other shit. Like hell, fucking what was it? Days of Futures Past essentially did that. Granted, I can't remember. I could be remembering the details a bit fuzzy, but the past probably did directly affect the future. But I know in the comics it didn't because that was an entirely different timeline. But anyway, yeah, it's just like you could, especially if you're gonna use fucking Far From Home, the Spider-Man movie, as the point where you introduce the multiverse. Like, so long as you stuck to the rules that you set in place for time travel, then the next movie that comes after that actually touches on that for real, would have been fine. But now you're doing some extra shit. It's, and it's just,
I mean, they look foolish.
yeah,
That's all it is. You look foolish.
yeah. It's just like, look,
Yeah, and they came out and said Hulk. They also came out and said Hulk's arm is permanently damaged. Remember, because the gauntlet's
yeah,
mostly gamma,
yeah.
and Hulk's a gamma reactor.
So he essentially
So
got gamma overloaded.
apparently,
And you know what? I would be fine with that, as stupid as that sounds, but it's just like y'all could wait. My problem is, and I think I even said this in our group before, it is your job as the creator to convey what you're trying to. It is your job to present what you're trying to convey to the audience.
yeah,
If
like this isn't a book.
yeah, like the cinematography is supposed to. If words are not telling us what it is, the cinematography is supposed to. Then it's so if you don't do that, that's on you. I don't want to hear about shit post movie. Like I can even use Infinity as an example. the whole entire Thanos Hulk fight, I was cool with the idea of Hulk got his ass whipped so bad that he got scared to can't come back out. I was cool with that. Like that was actually a decent. That was a decent thing, and it explains why one of the heaviest hitters on the Avengers doesn't show up later. It made sense, and it helped, even though it was still stupid how they treated Banner and the Hulk in Endgame. It was still a nice way to set up for Professor Hulk to come out. But you telling me after that movie, oh, it wasn't because he got scared of Thanos. It was because he was tired of being misused by people who don't even love him. Like, okay, at the end of the day, the Hulk is just a split personality. He's not an actual person. It is still Bruce Banner. So I don't want to hear that stupid shit. Ugh.
Yeah, and they have said this multiple times. They'll do something like, "Oh yeah, it humanizes such and such." Like that much deeper. Like, "Oh, we humanized Thor. Oh, Bruce Banner is now humanized." They said it about, yeah. "Oh, Natasha, she's humanized now." I'm like, bro.
You notice how they're doing the whole entire humanizing shit on the side characters who nobody's really paying attention to like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, they're side characters already. I mean,
Like the Hulk is likely never going to get a solo movie, and he's probably damn sure not going to get one now that he's essentially a cripple, and we're moving on to the next generation of people. So it's just like, who is that for? Because the Hulk fans were clearly unsatisfied with the fucking Thanos shit. So why are you trying to humanize him now? And I'm using air quotes on the word humanize. It's just like, uh, and now they're probably gonna try to. I almost I almost want to say that they're gonna try to pull some bullshit where they're like, "Oh, Natasha didn't really die, or Natasha came back to life." Black Widow, I mean, uh, from the whole entire Soul Stone incident, so that they can justify however the fuck they plan on doing her solo movie. Because it really is pointless that she's having a solo movie after the fact now. Because spoilers, she dies in Endgame.
not a spoiler, honestly. If you're a comic book fan and you haven't seen Endgame, what the fuck are you doing?
If you're a fucking MCU fan and you
Seriously,
haven't
almost
seen,
been out for a whole month at this point.
yeah, if you're an MCU fan, not even just a comic book fan, and you haven't seen Endgame, then you clearly didn't care about that much about spoilers. So yeah, it's just like why do you want to make a fucking Black Widow movie now? Like the time to do it would have been almost immediately after Captain Marvel. Honestly, it should have been done before Captain Marvel if we're gonna be for real, for real. Like she was the longest running female on there, but at the same time, I'm not looking for Black Widow like
I would
that.
have said after Captain America, Winter Soldier, because she played a big role in that one, and that was
Yeah,
kind of when because people don't really care for it too much outside of being like sex bait,
yeah, and I'm still kind of
Around the people are
questioning that
like,
one.
"Oh, hey, she's cool."
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
not gonna lie though, I actually did like her in or cared for, Black Widow to me has always just been like emo assassin person. So
like
I have never cared for her. So I mean, the role that forward, I cared about it.
like I kind of like Black Widow in comics, not really too much. Like I picked up a few issues of her solo runs. I'm just like, yeah, these are okay, but they're just spy stories. I get those from damn near anywhere. But yeah, movies I was really not caring. I'm just like, you and Hawkeye are probably the two most useless characters. It has nothing to do with the fact that you have no powers. It's just you're boring as fuck.
Not with plot, remember?
Sure.
Vision has a whole mind stone and he's made of vibranium and everything. And he couldn't run these people's fades, but look, Captain America and Black Widow, no problem.
Yeah, sure. Vi- Can we talk about Vision real quick? He was the most useless character to add to the Avengers roster in these movies. Like he literally showed up for 2 movies. No, three movies, and permanently dies by the third one.
Yep.
Like, damn. How
Another Russo retcon. They said the Infinity Stones are not destroyed; they just exist in their atomized forms. pull something apart at the atomic level,
You
you
might as
know
well
what? Never
consider it
mind.
destroy it. Like, outside of the fact that
It's been a month, and how many of those did I give out? Like they tried retconning or saying something outside of the movie. Like how many things did they say? At least 6.
yeah, it's just, and that's so stupid. Like, oh god, I'm not gonna keep going on about how Russo brothers are fucking up Marvel canon. And yes, this is a valid complaint because the MCU is part of the Marvel multiverse, so they have to abide by the rules to a certain extent. So
Hey,
fucking
speaking of Marvel canon, to the cancellation of all the X-Men titles.
oh yeah, oh yeah, that was a hot one. Okay, for so that everybody knows what Zach is talking about. Uh, the newest writer or the upcoming writer for the newest X-Men title that's going to be popping up soon. He announced that all of Marvel's current X-Men titles up up before that are currently running are going to be canceled relatively soon here. So that's Uncanny X-Men, X-Men Red, X-Men Gold. Uh, fuck. There's probably I think there's
I
like
think Gold finished. I think Gold was over.
yeah
I
I
don't know
think
about Red.
uh the way it ended it feels like Red is over, but it kind of felt like it could also go
He
another
got
way.
like 4 or 5 X-Men books at least, though. I know that much.
Yeah, there's quite a few titles out there. Some of them are solo runs for some of the X-Men. But anyway, yeah, and they're gonna replace that shit with two miniseries, House of X and Pow House of Power or something like that. Power X or
Yeah,
something.
something like Power of X or something like that.
Yeah, Power X or some shit like that. And then after those miniseries are done, it's gonna roll into a new X-Men title that we don't know what it's gonna be called yet. And those three runs are gonna be supervised and written by the same guy. Fuck, I cannot remember his name. I'll probably put that in
I believe
edit.
it's Jonathan Hickman, maybe.
Yeah, it's Hickman. You're right. So I don't know how I feel about that. Hickman's a good writer. He's a damn good writer. Like he's done some shit. It's just uh, based off of what he said in that interview, it's it's kind
It's
of
cause for some concern.
it's cause for some concern, and I think you kind of hit it on the head when we were talking about it in messaging. It sounds like he's trying to do the X-Men version of Rebirth, DC Rebirth,
Yeah.
and and on the surface that sounds fine, but this is where it goes left for me. I've said it before. I am the guy who likes change. Yeah, some X-Men titles and the X-Men have been hitting a rough spot in recent years. Some of their stories have actually been trash. But that being said, you cannot deny that there's been some good shit that has come from these changes. Like Jean Grey is a more likable character than she's been. I got a few years.
Teen Jean Grey was the goat, though.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm kind of feeling
Jean.
I'm kind of liking Martin Luther Jean Grey right now. But I got a few years without fucking Cyclops. Like that was great. I was tired of seeing that bitch. Uh,
He's back now.
yeah, but he's kind of
Oh,
redeemed.
okay. Actually, yeah, I don't know what they're. Here's my problem with it is I don't know how they're gonna go about it. I'm not current on all the X-Men titles. I'm just on the X-Men. I can literally look at my history. Um, but I think it's Uncanny X. Yeah, Uncanny X-Men. I
Hmm.
just got on that, and my thing is there going to be an in-universe explanation for this retcon?
It's
The
probably gonna
comic
it's probably
and
gonna be
Marvel Comics is like, are you just saying fuck everything else, not going to say anything, and just start anew? Or are you going to give us a real reason why it's going to happen? Like in Rebirth, that's the big thing. Like with Doomsday Clock, where it's either number 10 or 11, they're going to tell us everything about Rebirth.
hmm. Well, I'm willing to bet that these two miniseries that are going to be coming out soon are probably going to be what explain it. Like House of X sounds like it's going to be in a House of M size of it. So, and that was in House of M, for those who don't know, was essentially Marvel's huge ass retcon for the depopulating of the mutant characters in the fucking universe. So it was just like it could because as of right now, I can't remember if War of the Realms, no, in Uncanny X-Men said it, but in War of the Realms, the majority of the X-Men are dead or they're gone or missing or some shit. Like all that's really left is uh fucking Wolverine.
X-Men die and come back all the time, though. No cap.
Oh yeah.
Like probably more than anybody. And they make this joke all the time. They'll be like, "So and so's dead." Someone will be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, like the top three people or the top two people who die all the fucking time in fucking X-Men are Jean Grey, Wolverine. Those two motherfuckers come back so goddamn much and they die so often. It is ridiculous. Like they are egregious with this shit. Ooh, I got to use a big word today. Yay. Fucking but yeah, it's just back to what I was saying. I don't know if I like the fact that they're trying to roll back seemingly roll back the clock on the X-Men because I was mad when they brought back Wolverine because it's like, oh, so now y'all just gonna demote Laura Kinney slash X-23 slash all new Wolverine back to a somewhat sidekick role now when she's literally a grown ass woman who actually who had a damn good run of her own Wolverine comics.
I
And
like Laura, but I do not like what is the little one, the Honey Badger
yeah,
girl.
Honey Badger. And she grown on me. I'm not gonna lie. Like at first she was annoying, but yeah, she grew on me. Kind of like Riri Williams kind of is now. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait and see, but I just wish comic books would just stick to fucking change instead of going back to the status quo all the goddamn time.
Well, I guess that's the thing. Are they going to go back to the status quo, or are they going to make real changes? One of the things that I noticed about Uncanny X-Men, and I don't know if this has ever been changed per se, but one of my favorite characters in the X-Men has always been Armor or Hisako. I don't remember. I can never remember her last name.
Yeah, Zako.
Still, she was just like she was a teenager. She was a slightly more grown X-Men, but they still weren't treating her with her respect. And I was like, I can remember back in 2004 reading a comic, and she was still an X-Men in training.
Mm-hmm.
That's 15 fucking years ago. I want Hisako to be an adult. I want her to be one of the leaders.
Yeah, it's yeah. She's still in that not quite a teenager anymore. Definitely not quite an adult anymore stages. That's kind of where Laura was for a long ass time until she got the Wolverine title. Like,
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, damn. So like, Laura got to be Wolverine, but Hisako is still in Xavier's school
but
as a
you
student.
But you gotta remember, like prior to Wolverine dying and Laura taking up the title or the mantle, it was still in that questionable stage of is she a high schooler? Is she an adult? Like it almost felt like when she took up the mantle of Wolverine, they low key just accelerated her age because there was hints of a fucking romance between her and young Angel. So it was like and young Angel was still technically an adult, so it was just like what the fuck? What's going on here? It was so weird. So it
I would
and
also give points to the title if it's like a hard reboot.
I'll be bitching if it was a straight up hard reboot. I'm not gonna lie.
But I mean the kind where even if they use the same characters, they at least change things about them.
Like origin stories and shit.
I mean, like, look, when we got the new 52, we got a black kid Wally, even though he's technically Wally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, you just get different characters, they spice it up and everything, like something like that.
that when it comes to that kind of thing, I don't. I may have said this on the last podcast when we were talking about SJW shit, but I I am not okay with pre-existing characters changing races, changing ethnicity or gender in the same universe. If it's an alternate universe, fine, that's whatever. But if you have somebody who is in one universe, white, a white redheaded ginger guy who was mentored by fucking Barry Allen, they'll all of a sudden switch him up to being a black kid.
No, he's a different person,
Yeah, yeah,
but
but
he's a Wally West is what I mean. Like his name is Wally West, but he's literally they're not the same person at all.
I get what you mean. And I know they kind of rolled that back, but it felt like they were kind of trying to ham fist the
Like they
idea
have
there.
different parents, I think. They're both Iris's, but they have different parents.
Yeah, but it felt low key like New 52's Wally was. It was like the writers were trying to ham fist the idea of, hey, we don't have the old Wally, but here's a new one for you. He's kind of the same thing. He's wearing the same colors. He's just black. It's just like, come on, bro. Just bring back the old Wally if y'all trying to do that shit.
Nah, I like the new Wally because he uses the other Speed Force.
Um, I'll have to take your word for that because honestly, I don't like the speedsters. Like archers and speedsters, I don't like them. Their powers and concepts are stupid to me.
I like speedsters. I fuck with speedsters.
Uh, oh god, I'm dying. um, but yeah, it's shit. So we're really just gonna have to see when it comes to that shit. Regarding the new X-Men series when those come out. And we'll keep y'all posted because I think they're coming out this July, and then they have like a what was it, a 5 year plan going forward or some shit.
Oh, is it really that much?
Yeah, like dude, Hickman's pretty much. I could be wrong on the time frame, but yeah, he's like, yeah, we got a long term plan with this shit before his run is finished. So it's just like, okay, we'll see what you do. Hopefully it comes. Hopefully it comes around faster than the fucking Doomsday Clock. Uh, but other than that, shit. Anything else? Anything else popped up on the news?
Well, I mean, we talked about Far From Home plenty last time we talked.
Yeah.
Else comes out soon that has been flying way under the radar. Speaking of X-Men, is Dark Phoenix.
Oh yeah, that fucking movie.
I
Okay.
want to say it comes out like not very far after Far From Home.
Yeah. It's definitely it's definitely coming up fast. And it went quiet for a hot ass minute too. Like I remember last year they were giving out trailers for that shit, but then it just went dark for like 3 MCU movies or some shit.
I mean, I hope it's not trash. It'll probably be trash, but I hope it's not.
Like Age of Apocalypse wasn't terrible. It was just like they dropped the ball towards the end. That's where I kind of stand on that one.
I think Age of Apocalypse. Okay, I was sick though. I was sick. I was sitting in the back of a movie theater, and everyone was sniffling. And when I tell you, Age of Apocalypse is one of the most, yeah, like you, like that. They were either, or they were, like that was one of the most unenjoyable movies I've ever been to, and I know my experience attributes to it a little bit, but yeah.
I'll have to rewatch it again, but yeah, I didn't like the acting. Outside of the fact that Apocalypse looked like fucking Ivan Ooze from Power Rangers movie, uh, I I couldn't say I didn't like. I hated the acting. Like the one thing I will say about this new gen of X Men from the Fox series, they're not bad actors. Not all of them, at least. Uh,
I really like the new gen. I mean, I like uh what's his face as Xavier. I really like Michael Fassbender as Magneto.
yeah, he cool. Yeah, he's cool as a young Magneto.
Um, the problem is with these movies is the only other character in the X-Men that gets solos is Wolverine,
Wolverine.
and
Yeah.
all the X-Men movies, especially recently, have almost been solely focused around, Xavier and Magneto.
And to a lesser extent Mystique, which I still think is a big ass mistake. Like,
Yeah.
why the fuck did y'all make that a love triangle? Like, that should have just been Martin Luther King and Malcolm X going head to head. That should not have been a petty ass high school love triangle. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then their ages are all fucked up, but I mean that's just kind of how comic books work anyway.
Yeah, yeah. So in a way, they were kind of faithful
They're
in that
all
regard.
still like they all should be like 60 in this movie, I think. It's supposed to be something like that. They're all supposed to be like 60, but they all look like they're in their, late 30s tops.
Yeah, but then again, fucking Xavier in the comics, his ass looks.
Yeah. But I
He
was
was
gonna
like
say
a
that's how comics work anyways, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
motherfucker was looking like an Abercrombie and Fitch fucking model in that wheelchair. He's like, bitch, I'm styling on your asses. You see these six packs abs? Yeah, I'm 80 years old. I don't give a fuck. But uh, like what's her name who plays Jean Grey? She's actually decent in all things considered. I mean,
That's
her.
what I was saying. They don't get that much screen time. That it's kind of like, it kind of goes either way.
But hell, that's the problem with the comic books too, because you don't see a fucking Cyclops solo going around anytime soon.
Oh,
Fucking like Wolverine is the most popular X-Men character. Jean Grey is popular. I would say Jean Grey is probably equally as popular. It's just the fact that people aren't really interested in her as Jean Grey. They're more interested in her as the Phoenix.
I
It's
like her. I've always enjoyed. I don't know if this is actually set like this, but now she's she can kind of create like I mean they're psionic constructs, basically hard light constructs, right?
yeah,
That's what I liked about her, the Teen Jean Grey series, is because she was going around. She's basically like Psylocke. She was learning to use shit like that.
yeah. Like Jean's power set, she is just a psionic, meaning she has all of these psychic powers.
So I've always liked her, and especially I like her in the Uncanny X-Men. I like her more than having Xavier, because Xavier was a telepath, so
Yeah.
they're OP as fuck or useless.
Yeah, and a little detail that a lot of people seemingly didn't catch up on was the teen Jean from that run of comics in recent years. She actually developed a lot of her powers earlier than what her original counterpart did, so that actually boosted her power up when they had the whole entire fusing them back together and shit, or taking her back to the original timeline. So it
I
was like,
think she became, or she like fused with the Phoenix or something and became G. I don't know. It was kind of muddy.
yeah, it was the Phoenix
Disappointed with
Rising
that. Yeah, I
storyline.
was disappointed with that because they brought him back, and I was like, no, but Teen Jean Grey,
Well,
she's so much cooler.
I mean, the adult one is essentially mature teen Jean, so it's a decent compromise. Cyclops, he's still kind of a fuck boy until you start reading him in Champions, in which case he's like, okay, I kind of fucks with you a little bit.
He's like 15, so
Yeah, but he was still a fuck boy even as a 15-year-old, so it's kind of doesn't help him.
eh. But yeah, Cyborg. I said Cyborg. Damn, Cyclops. He's a little. Let's say about Cyclops. I've never been huge on this character. I think he's cool. It's like
I,
he's a guy who's just there. His power's all right. The punch dimension. The
oh yeah, the weird
eyes are a portal to like a kinetic energy dimension.
like it was just cool when you
Vision.
used to think he was just a heat vision, but no, there was like, no, he's concussive energy. But then they're like, oh no, it comes from this random dimension that nobody gives a damn about or explores. So it's just like
Yeah,
he was supposed to be mutant Captain America, and I'm just like, that makes him even less cool to me. Like I don't even like Captain America like that, so mutant Captain
he's
America
supposed to
ain't
be
my.
mutant Captain America.
I mean, think about it. He was the Boy Scout of the X-Men. He was the fucking goody two shoes. He was the one everybody like. Imagine, remember how fucking Captain America is with the Avengers comics? That's essentially what old Scott, and I'm not talking about recent terrorist Scott. I'm talking old school Cyclops. he was essentially Captain America. Like
I guess you're right. I guess my thing is because it's like his powers kind of.
his
It's
powers are
not that it's
boring.
lame. It's boring because like, dude, he sucks at using it.
Hmm.
At all. It'd be different if the motherfucker didn't have to walk around with the visor on all day. It'd be different if he
Yeah,
could summon on his powers. He could use them more accurately. Maybe they had like other uses, but I mean, they have
yeah,
no uses other than just destroying shit, and he can't even use it. He has to, move the visor down.
that's always
Rather
been
just
something
have
that's
Soup's heat vision than have the fucking punch dimension.
yeah, that always confused me about fucking Cyclops. You mean to tell me you spent all these fucking years in a school that helps teach people how to control their powers? You have Jean Grey who went from only knowing how to basically levitate shit and read people's mind without control to being a fuck all Omega level telepath. I mean psychic, and all these other people who train their abilities up to the levels that they got them at now. But yo
Almost
ass
all the original X-Men at some point have hit like that Omega level, and I don't think Scott's ever hit Omega level unless like he had the Phoenix Force.
yeah, he's never been classified as Omega as far as I remember. And you would think that the final form of his powers would be, oh, I don't need a visor anymore. But you never see that. It's just, oh, I have to put this visor on. I can turn the knob a little bit to increase the intensity. Like, bruh, really? Like like at least with Wolverine, you kind of understand why he doesn't evolve his shit. It's literally just claws and healing. There's nothing you could really train there. But you would think Cyclops would be like, okay, how the fuck do I control these eye beams? I don't know.
Yeah, whack.
Yep, definitely whack. Kid
And
kid kid Cyclops, kind of okay though. He was adorable in fucking Champions. Shout out to the
then he had
Champions.
that weird. Also, Cyclops had that weird thing with what's her name, Emma.
Oh, you mean when they were fucking?
Yeah, and they Emma was like disguising herself as Jean or something,
Oh, I
and
know exactly what you're talking about.
it was just like,
Zach is referring to back when Scott Summers was married to Jean fucking Grey and she was still alive. He was having a mental fucking relation affair with Emma fucking Frost in his mind, where she would mentally project herself to be Jean, but he knew that it was Emma Frost and he still did it, and he was married to a fucking Omega level psychic. So you know how in the real world motherfuckers are like, oh, you looking at a girl is still considered cheating? No, this is legit cheating because you're you're mentally fucking another psychic while married to another psychic. Like, bruh, you are actually cheating at this point.
of all the things he should not do in that relationship. Okay, yeah. First off, you already fucked up my guy because you married a bitch that can read your mind. Um,
Like,
you're
bruh,
cheating on her with another bitch that can read
read
your
your mind.
mind.
And granted, I can't even be mad at Emma for it because that was in line with her character from the jump. She's like, "Hey, bro, I want that dick." He's like, "Okay," but come on, bro, you need to tell. And let's
You're
not
like,
even
what that mind do, girl?
for real. It's like, okay, hold up. Jean Grey ain't ugly, and she's a bottom bitch. Like she's ride or die for real, for real. Like the fact that she's still in love with this fuck boy is questionable but respectable at the same time. So it's just like,
He's fine. I only like two redheads in like all of fiction. Okay, Mary Jane Watson's one of them,
okay,
and Jean's the other one.
okay, okay.
Sorry to redheads. I don't really have a redhead thing like that.
Yeah, well, hey, all the red hoods who were feeling Zach, come over to me because those two started my love of fucking redheads. So y'all can get this chocolate dick all y'all want. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Uh, yeah, it's just what the fuck was Cyclops thinking, cheating on a psychic with another psychic? That is the dumbest shit,
That's how I know you weren't thinking with your dick because they weren't in your dick; they were in your mind.
bruh. And then, if I remember correctly, Emma even tried to make Cyclops jealous by fucking Namor.
I would not be jealous of that shit.
and and
Just
I'm just
fuck the
like,
fish, man.
oh, yo,
No, but I
speaking
was
of,
talking about even when Gene died, they got together, and it was still weird because he was still like, they were still doing the whole Gene sex thing, or at least she was. Somebody was trying it in that relationship. It was just weird, dude.
well, I mean, they were a decent couple just because Emma wasn't on for his bullshit when he was on it, but well, except for towards the end when he became a terrorist and she was still with him. It was like, the fuck you doing, bitch? But that, but speaking of Namor though, let's talk about the fact that this motherfucker is always after somebody's sloppy seconds. Like, this motherfucker is the most arrogant. It's okay. My Namor hate is renewed from War of the Worlds. Uh, yeah, War of the Realms. I mean, did you read the fucking War Avengers spinoff? Because I've been catching up on the spinoffs
I
of
have
that shit.
not yet. I need to read all the spinoffs.
Yo, read up on the fucking War Avengers one. I got so pissed off at fucking Namor because okay, so Captain Marvel comes down to save Deadpool from some fucking fire sharks after Deadpool dives into the water trying to beat them to cool them off and shit. And then she comes into Atlantis where Deadpool ended up landing, and she's like, "Hey, bro, you might want to join up with us because there is an entire fucking multi-dimensional army conquering the Earth." He's like, what the fuck did I gotta do with me, bruh? If they
That's
con-
Aquaman half the time. Aquaman's just like, hey, bro.
yeah, and
Like
that's
whenever he's not in the Justice League, he's just like, oh, is it in Atlantis? I think not.
that's what partly pisses me off about Aquaman too. But Namor takes it to another level because he's arrogant as fuck for no goddamn reason. This motherfucker's like, hey,
Always wearing that speedo and shit.
well, he switched up he glowed up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, his
Oh,
fit
what it
looks
took
better.
him 75 years.
I know, right? But no, fucking this dude is like, what's that got to do with me, bruh? You got a psychotic fucking dark elf conquering all the fucking planets, all the fucking realms. You really think he's not gonna come to Atlantis? And you really think that if when he does, you're gonna be able to stop it?
Oh,
You
he's got
bitch!
99 problems, but a psychotic dark elf named Malekith just ain't one.
Like, bruh, let's be fucking real here. Namor is not that guy. He is not that dude. When shit pops off, okay, if Thanos comes into the play on Earth and he's saying, I'm about to destroy this whole entire fucking planet, Namor is not the guy you want to call to beat fucking Thanos. Namor is the guy who you're like,
Namor has capers, and like I was just as surprised when I learned it.
yeah, I'm
I
just
was
like,
floating around some Facebook group, and they were like Namor versus Superman, and people were really like, "Bro, Namor." I was floored by that.
yeah, I'm just like, y'all motherfuckers exist?
Like he has magic, and magic is Superman's weakness. I'm like, oh, you're one of those people.
Yeah, it's just like, yo, Namor is the guy you send out as fodder so that the real motherfuckers can set up some shit. Like, yes, Namor's strong.
I'll give him his props. People are like, oh, well, he beat up on the current Avengers roster. The current Avengers roster was weak.
Yeah, like, and yeah,
In my opinion, are extremely nerfed compared to what they used to be.
yeah, like if you want to compare Namor at his best to Captain Marvel at her best, no comparison. Like she is a third of what she is now. And the fact that he beat that doesn't mean much. It's like, wait until our ass turns binary, then your ass is fucked.
Or they were talking about he broke Thor's hammer. I'm like, Thor's broken 100 of those new hammers he has.
Right. It's like,
He breaks them all the time. Those are not Mjolnir. Those are just random hammers.
yeah, it's not
And then
Melanie.
you got guys like Steve Rogers was like, "Hey, if you don't stop, you're gonna have to answer to me, Namor." Steve, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
He just beat up Thor and Captain Marvel. Go sit in the corner.
yeah, just oh god. Uh, I swear the MCU hype these some of these characters have is pissing me off in the comics because it's like, we get it, you're popular in the movies, that doesn't mean you are shit here. Learn your
Yeah, this shit made me so mad. I'm like, dude, if he just overpowered Thor and Captain Marvel, and I think he also beat Ghost Rider underwater, what makes you think Steve Rogers? And the problem is, Steve Rogers, apparently with his shield, can do anything. Because Ghost Rider recently got a amp and he beat up Captain Marvel. And you know who he couldn't beat up because of a shield?
Yeah. Mm.
This is just me ranting at this point.
Yeah, we
Um,
we we are long past our topic points. We're just ranting about stupid shit we've seen recently.
yeah, if y'all stayed this far, you're some real ones. But at this
Hey,
point, we're just off script.
y-
We both feel a little bit under the weather, so we're just kind of.
yeah, and you got some shit planned for tonight, don't you?
No, I was just at the liquor store earlier for my mom. I got back on like my diet and everything.
Uh-huh.
Just like my body really hates me.
Ah,
My
yeah.
body's like, bro, you suck. Yeah, so I've been feeling lightheaded. I had a slight headache all day. Also, yeah,
Yeah.
guzzling down this water because my body's like, drink a Coke, you have a headache, and I'm like, no, just keep drinking water. 3
Okay.
giant water mugs up here. But yeah,
All right, I think we're gonna just go ahead and cut it here. This has been the No Justice Podcast. If you like the content, be sure to like, subscribe. Bleh. Be sure to like and subscribe to the goddamn channel. And if you want, check out our social media links in the comment in the fucking info below. I cannot talk. Fuck it. We're ending this shit here. Bye. Deuces.